huge humiliation for Meghan Markle. According to Neil Sean, Meghan Markle is reportedly fuming at her own mother, Doria Ragland, over a spectacular failed attempt to break into the Kardashian business empire. And of course, it's all happening behind closed doors. With a carefully curated smile for the cameras, Meghan and her mother Doria were apparently all buddy-buddy with none other than the Kris Jenner, the mastermind behind the Kardashian empire, in an effort to get Meghan's American Riviera Orchard business off the ground. Doria was tasked with charming into giving Meghan the golden advice that would surely make her the next skincare mogul. It was going to be an epic meeting of the entrepreneurial's mind, if you will. But it seems that even with the best efforts, Doria could not pull off the magic trick. And why? Well, it's because it turns out that Meghan's grand business dreams collided with reality in a way that only the Kardashians know how to do. And Meghan was left utterly disappointed. Neil Sean claimed that Doria invited Meghan to Kim Kardashian's grand launch party for a new underwear line. How very chic, right? But there was a teeny tiny little issue. Meghan was not impressed. Products. Meghan clearly was not going to let her brand be tainted by the very thing that made Kim Kardashian a household name. Being a Kardashian, that little family brand does not exactly scream high society right in Meghan's world. It's all about clean, wholesome luxury, not about keeping up with the Kardashians. According to anonymous sources, Doria's attempt at networking went so sour that it caused a major rift with Meghan Markle. And Meghan was apparently furious with her mother. After all, Doria was supposed to be the bridge, the one who would get Meghan the kind of high caliber connections that she needed. Instead, she found herself in the pink and glittered mess of Kardashian territory. But wait, there is more. Meghan, the entrepreneur, decided to turn her own frustration into some good PR. While Doria was left nursing her bruised ego, Meghan apparently remained gracious, claiming that all was well between them. This is something that is going on between Meghan and Harry for a very long time. We have reported on this. It came on the news many times that Doria was hanging out with Kris Jenner. She was hanging out with Kim Kardashian. She was hanging out with all the A-list Hollywood celebrities all the time. Why? Now we understand. It was because of Meghan Markle. She instructed her mother to bring business for her. And now that she is failing, because we see Meghan is failing, the Aero brand never took off, she doesn't like Doria anymore. And according to this particular report, and what Neil Sean reported, what I understand from this report, Doria is now facing eviction order from Meghan Markle, if I can call it an eviction order. But you get it. They are not on good terms at all. After the father, so this is the question, after the father got chopped off from her life, would the mother be the next? Doria Ragland from Meghan Markle's life, would she be gone for good? Would Meghan kick her out for good? That is something we will have to wait and discuss more in the coming days. Before I share with you some other important news about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and I actually want to make a commentary video on a video from The Sun host and how they are now saying that Meghan really needs to recalculate every move that she will be making simply because of recent failures. And now with this failure from Doria Ragland, she's absolutely furious. So these experts, these analysts, they're saying Meghan right now has really no other choice but to tone it down when it comes to the royal family. How she used to trash them, she needs to really apologize instead of trashing them more in the coming years. Before I do that, just to remind you guys, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, consider subscribing. Let's take a listen at this video.
I think we've seen this happening in a gradual sense for some time, haven't we?
Okay, so this is coming from The Sun, and they're talking about Have Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, so this is what the topic is, finally realized, so if whether Meghan and Harry, they finally realize it's time to stop insulting royal family? Have they realized it? Let's second.
Well, I suppose basically because nothing hostile to the royal family has come out of that quarter as it used to do fairly regularly. And I guess it's a very good strategy. I mean, it's very wise on their part because it was getting rather unpleasant and unpopular. And it was obviously not going to be very helpful if they were going to try to, reconcile at some point in the future. And so the more time that passes without barbs and slings and arrows being thrown in the direction of the royal family, the better. And I suspect it's that because, as I've said on many occasions, the thing about Harry and Meghan is they always have to keep reinventing themselves and keep themselves in the spotlight and doing new things. And there probably isn't much mileage left in insulting the royal family. I would say more that they've realized that it wasn't getting anywhere because it was causing so much trouble. And it would be better for them to, as it were, focus on the more positive things of the sort of things that they're trying to do, rather than the negative things of trying to insult the royal family. If I could put it like that, it's always rather hard.
Okay, so number one thing is that they never were successful in insulting the royal family. What they did was they exposed their true colors. They exposed their insecurities. They exposed how talentless they are. They exposed that they are desperate. They expose that they're nobodies. They expose that everyone, whoever will come close to them, will run away from them. This is what they have done. They have not insulted anybody. They have not punished Thomas Markle Sr. They have not punished the king. They have not punished any parents. They're punishing these so-called invisible surrogate children, if they exist. They're punishing everyone, and all the while they're believing that they are actually holding people to account, and doing so, insulting them and damaging their reputation. They believe, this is what Meghan planned from day one, that she wanted to destroy the monarchy's reputation from across the world and create a parallel monarchy, if you like, by visiting these countries, Nigeria and Colombia. She wanted to establish herself as the queen of US. How much of a success she had been, you know it and I know it. Zero. Therefore, when this analyst, I like what Hugo Vickers, the analyst, is saying from The Sun, but when they talk about Meghan Markle, what she's doing and how effective she had been in smearing the monarchy, I think we really need to take a step back and see the other side of the truth, because most of the time these people, they speak half of the truth and the rest half we have to say it, because obviously they cannot say it for whatever reason. But to know the whole truth, you really need to listen to me. Just kidding. But you get my point, right? This is what Meghan and Harry, they brought on themselves.
Put one's finger on all of that as well, because again, as I've said on many occasions, the British royal family, the working royals, are all working for the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, and they're all, doing things selflessly for us, whereas Harry and Meghan obviously have to support themselves, and so money becomes an issue, and they have to earn a lot of money, and therefore, in order to earn a lot of money, they have to sometimes be controversial, if you like, or at any rate, do things which will keep themselves in the public eye, interviews talking about various different things. But certainly they obviously do have various charitable enterprises which they are very keen on. And, it would be good news if that's what they're going to be focusing on in the future, rather than insulting the royal family.
That's the other problem, though. The reason they do try to smear the monarchy, even though they are not successful, as I said, instead it all backfired, is because they don't really have anything else going on in their life. They don't know how to network. Doria Ragland failed miserably networking with the Kardashian family in order to bring some business for herself and also for Meghan Markle. They failed all these 4 royal tours they have done in Nigeria and Colombia and elsewhere. Who knows where they're going? Maybe to the Amazon jungle and and maybe talk to the animals there. The crocs, the lions, the zebra, all of them will come to them and be like, yeah, we believe you guys are the new monarchy. We believe, and we take you as our king and queen. I'm just kidding. But they can go anywhere. They have no shame. They have no regard. I mean, Harry is going to Africa, where we see that people are getting abused and raped and murdered. They don't have any problem doing whatever they want to do in order to be successful. But the irony is that the success they're chasing at the expense of other people is not coming to them. It's very, very elusive. This delusional couple, they really need to see the reality for what it is and really do things from the very beginning. They need to start from the scratch, forget about all the titles. They need to tell the king, take these titles away, because we're going to start fresh. Nobody should know we're from the family, the monarchy, and then we will build up on this, and we'll make our own business, and we'll deals, we will have networking. And I'm pretty sure if they start fresh, if they distance themselves from the monarchy and from those titles that they so desire and put them aside, not like removing the title, but if they can just put it aside, that no, I'm not going to be called Duchess of Sussex anymore, because I'm going to be called the entrepreneur Meghan Markle, the empowering Meghan Markle, the visionary Meghan Markle. If she can do that, obviously which she will not do, but if she can do it, then I believe it will help her getting those networking, those business deals, and she will be very much cherished and liked by so many people. But because of the title, she is so insecure, she doesn't want to give it up. She is not going anywhere. It is time for Meghan Markle to voluntarily remove the title, take the title away, give it back to the monarchy, or if I mean, obviously it is not that easy. But if the monarchy said, no, this is something we cannot take away from you, but at least don't use it every single time when she writes a letter, she uses Duchess title. Even with the Christmas card that she posted, it was about the royal family. It is not about Meghan and Harry having children, 2 kids, the surrogate invisible. It was about a family who is from the monarchy, who is a royal, who has royal connection. And every event she goes, I am the Duchess of Sussex. You're going to invite me? If somebody doesn't call her by her title, she gets furious. Why don't you call me Duchess of Sussex? Why Meghan? Obviously, in the recent time, we have seen that changing a little bit. But she should be doing it outwardly, not wishy-washy, not, yeah, I don't like the title to be used, call me Meghan, call me Harry. No, tell it to the camera, to the public, even to your family. We do not want to be recognized as Duchess or Duke at all. We want to be recognized for who we are, and we're going to be accomplishing things. We're going to be on a mission to be successful. But lo and behold, that is not going to happen. And this is why you see these experts that are always saying that this duplicitous duos, they should be doing something. They should be taking a different approach, but not talking about the title, not talking about how Meghan and Harry can start from the scratch.
I think all relationships are salvageable if people are prepared to compromise, and if people are prepared to meet each other halfway. And I think it's pretty difficult at the moment. I mean, the king has been very clever not to respond in any way at all to any of the unpleasant things which have been said, which makes me think that leaves the door open for negotiation, or indeed, possibly for Prince Harry one day to return. I'm sure the king is very fond of his son, but the king has got a lot of other things on his mind. He's not terribly well. He's got all the things that kings have to think about, basically. And I should imagine, in fact, I think I've rather got the impression that Prince Harry is fairly low down on the list as far as that's concerned. He's the one who needs to pull himself together, if you like, and extend the olive branch, because he's the one who's been making it difficult between them. It wasn't the king. He was never making it difficult with his son. I'm sure everybody has grievances.
Well, I think the king should have made it very, very difficult for him too. It was always about Harry trashing them. I mean, a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but what I think should have happened was that the king telling him, that we have absolutely no future together as long as you are with Meghan Markle. Leave her. If you want to come back to the family, make it a very clear point, because Meghan and Harry, even though you could argue, well, they're not doing anything against the monarchy right now, you can say that, but what about the online campaign they are running against the monarchy? What about Christopher Boozy? What about this guy Omid Scooby? They are trashing the monarchy every single opportunity they get. Therefore, I think the monarchy should have made a very clear point to Meghan and Harry, that especially to Harry, that if you guys want any reconciliation, any hope, you want to see any light at the end of the tunnel, then you really need to change your behavior. And for Harry, you need to divorce Meghan Markle. You need to leave her. You need to do a DNA test for your kids that you're claiming to be yours. Once they could set those conditions, I mean, obviously not outwardly in the public, but from the back door, behind closed doors, I think it would have been made much easier for us to really see how Meghan would react and how far they could go.
In the background, there are all sorts of things, and maybe we know from having read Spare that he has certain, residual resentments from years gone by, and all sorts of issues that he needs to deal with. But to be honest, you've got to move forward, and the relationship is not good at the moment. I think it's much easier for the King and Prince Harry to, re-establish good relations of some sort than it will be for him to do so with his brother, because he's been so rude about Catherine and caused a lot of tension there. And of course, it was such a strong relationship that they had, and when that gets broken, it's always somehow much worse. I would think.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. He made a very good point here, Mr. Vicker. And I just want to also elaborate on that, which is how they trash a cancer patient, actually two patients, the King himself and also Catherine, Princess of Wales. Okay, with the King, maybe Harry has some big issues, personal thing. Okay, maybe that's why he did not really care about him that much. But Catherine, what mistakes she made? Nothing. She's young and she got all the bad treatment from the Sussex squad and also from Meghan and Harry. Just on that, Meghan and Harry should never ever be able to get a chance to come close to the monarchy. There are a lot of things that were done inhumanly by both Meghan and Harry and also Doria Raglan that we can discuss on and see for ourselves how evil these duplicitous duos are.
The first word that comes to mind is stalemate, really. Nothing happening. As you said, is she sort of, is there a ceasefire? Well, there seems to have been it hasn't been stated as such, but it seems to have been a ceasefire for quite a long time now. And that's good, because the more time that passes, people do tend to forget, some of the worst things that are said, although the media is always there to remind them, of course. But, basically, things can get better. And let's hope in the long run they do, because it must be very difficult for the King, because he must mind about his son, and I think it must be difficult for Prince Harry, because he was doing such a good job, even if he rather says he didn't like doing it. I've seen him in action, and I know he's very good at it.
Yeah, this is what I don't agree with Mr. Hugo Vickers, because he's basically suggesting that there should be some kind of reconciliation now, since they both called ceasefire on the monarchy for a very long time. Well, the monarchy never had a war with them. They had a war with the monarchy, but the monarchy was unfazed. Them going back to the family and calling it a ceasefire, I don't want to put it in that way. The equation is really not like that. The equation is always about Meghan and Harry trashing the family. The monarchy did not trash them at all. Therefore, there is going to be absolutely zero chance for them to go back, because they're the one waging this war. They need to apologize publicly now. They need to call it a day. They need to say to the monarchy, we made a big mistake. We made several mistakes. We take it back. We acknowledge, we understand, we admit that we are complete failures. We need you guys. Please take us back. Make some kind of public statement along those lines if Meghan and Harry they ever want to have a ceasefire that the war they have already started by themselves.
It's extremely popular, much more popular when doing things like the Invictus Games and all the Commonwealth work that he was doing than when he's throwing javelins at his family. I mean, there's no indication of it at all. I don't think, I don't think Prince Harry wants to come back. I think
No, he does. He does want to come back. He does, and Meghan wants to come back too because that's the only way they can pay their bills. Right now, Montessit Show, as I have mentioned to you guys, it is going through a huge crisis. Not because Meghan and Harry, they're not living under the same roof anymore or that they're separated, but also maintaining it, paying off those mortgages, the finance, the maintenance cost. And right now they're getting cut off from Netflix. The revenues are not coming. There is absolutely no income. The money that they have right now is from those inheritance money that Harry received or will be receiving very, very soon. And also Meghan Markle and Harry's trashing of the monarchy. That's how they really are making a little bit of money right now. So again, this is a huge crisis for Meghan and Harry. There is absolutely zero way for them to get back to the family, and there should not be any open door for them. Some comments here, guys. Eva, thank you, guys. Eva, for the membership. I have some comments, other comments. Eva, thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. Some other comments. Melise, Gwen, thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next videos. Have a wonderful day. Take care.